non-dual intimacy, to explore this non-dual intimacy versus ignorance. So let's start with ignorance. And the way we will explore this, not as an energy in itself, but the totality of ignorance that sometimes moves through us out of not accepting or allowing or being really fully open to the unfoldment of your reality as it unfolds exactly as it is. So we're not speaking of one stream of energy as such. We want to illuminate. We want to illuminate every little motion that functions through us when it comes from a place of not wanting some experience to be experienced, or not wanting something to look in your life in a particular way, or maybe not accepting some changes, small changes, big changes. It doesn't matter, right? Or maybe even the slightest degree of fighting something which you don't like, or even the slightest degree of denial. Or else this running away from something you don't wish or want to experience. All of this, which functions at some point or other in your life's experience, well, that is the ignorance of saying to that loving awareness, to that highest intelligence, even beyond this universe, saying, no, this should not be like this. Yeah? Does this resonate? On so many degrees. It could be a slight texture inside you of this form of function. But from the larger view, it is ignorance of not giving or not allowing and giving full permission to yourself to experience what the biggest intelligence is giving you. And that creates this harmony. And we all know this, especially when it comes to some form of change. Because humans don't like change. We are very conditioned to become very cozy with what we are familiar with. And when something changes, this is where ignorance rises. And the functions of ignorance is what I just shared with you. This fighting, or this running away, or denying, or not fully being open to allow that life experience to move through you. Yes, to move through you. And when you allow that to move through you, you might experience like a deep scrubbing. Yes, this is the exact sensation when there is something happening in your life, not according to your mind's plans, not according to what you have envisioned. Or not according to your beliefs or core beliefs. Then out of that unacceptance, we create a lot of harm to ourselves and to the environment, to the people around us, maybe to the people involved, or to life itself in any way, any way it represents itself to you. So ignorance can also be seen as some life circumstance which we don't fully understand why this is happening to us. You know, like not fully having the light of awareness lovingly shining into that particular circumstance. There's some blind spots, not quite really understanding what's going on. So then there is this, why does this happen to me, or why now, or why this? It's coming because ignorance itself has no light within it. It's not illuminated yet with the loving awareness. So that's why it is disharmonious. That's why it creates disharmony out of not understanding or seeing through that particular life situation, that particular life circumstance. And on the other side of this ignorance or disharmonious functions, there's also an opportunity for you to explore being intimate with yourself. And being intimate with yourself, and here is what I wish to open with you all, is the intimacy which is beyond right or wrong, which is beyond judgment, which is beyond my belief, which is beyond the conditioning, yes? It's the intimacy beyond right or wrong. The intimacy beyond right or wrong allows you to meet directly all that is moving or deep scrubbing through you. Of course, many times you don't find it to be a challenge when it is a feeling or a sensation you like or gives you some form of pleasure or happiness or bliss. Many times there is no resistance to that. Many times when you're happy, you're very intimate, you're close, you're one with happiness. Yes, that is the intimacy, the closeness and the realness to that life experience. The relationship with that life experience happening. Maybe you might see it happening outside of you, but it's also happening inside of you. There is no difference. So it's happening, whether it's an outer circumstance affecting your inner state of being, it's happening. So if we are very intimate, and we can be very intimate with pleasure, for example, and with happiness and with joy, and maybe intimate with high states of bliss and consciousness, there's this closeness, all allowing, all accepting, very open to receive and allowing that to move through. But yet again, when a challenging energy, because of a challenging situation, maybe losing someone from your family, maybe departing, maybe separating, maybe losing a job or something that can really be big for you. Let's put it this way. Why can't we give that the opportunity to be intimate with that too? And now, being intimate with that too, what I'm truly saying is checking in with yourself to see if you are as open, as close with what is happening in your life right now. And this is where humanity lacks this acceptance for change, for new opportunities, for new things to come. We want them to come, we want new experiences, we want to be living in a better way, but yet we hold to that which we don't wish to change. So it's very dualistic. The functioning is very dualistic because of judgment, because of stating to yourself, this should not have happened, or this is not correct, or this is not what I believe. Whatever. The world should not be going through what they're doing, and this is crazy, and that is that. There's always some form of resistance. On a certain degree, there's always some form of resistance, some form of judgment, of stating right and wrong, and this and that, instead of choosing this non-dual intimacy. And non-dual intimacy is so enriching. unless you experience it directly, you will have no idea how enriching this is. To go beyond your beliefs, your own beliefs, to go beyond your own judgments, let alone others. To go beyond what you envisioned of how you wanted something to be. And this meeting is the intimacy I'm speaking about. Meeting is being so close to you and open, allowing life, all of it. Not speaking on one particular energy here. I'm speaking of life, all of it, as you have it in your life right now, and allowing life to move through you. You are moving through life. You're moving through seeing. This is the support of the loving awareness that you are, and the seeing. This loving awareness gives you the opportunity to experience the fullness of life, because life is filled with awareness, unless it's not possible for you to be here experiencing what you experience. But the degree of your openness, of allowing it all to happen exactly as it happens, without giving it a name, a tag. This was wrong. What happened to me was wrong. And now I will suffer because I gave it a judgment. I gave it a name. I gave it some resistance. And then we struggle to try and wait and find time for healing, or maybe try to navigate around our minds, instead of, it's not simply, I know it's not simply, it's not simple. It's quite, it does require a lot of strength of that light of awareness to be able to meet life fully, truly, intimately, as it truly is. As it truly is, as it truly unfolds to you every second of your life. Now that, yes, it takes a lot of inner work, but it is possible. It is absolutely possible. And the more you learn, this is like finding a new way of relating with life. Learning a new way of relating with life, with all the happenings of life, with all the unfoldments and surprises and likes and dislikes. As you know already, I'm sure all of you experience this, you can't keep up with change right now. If you're trying to keep up with change, I'm sure you're struggling a lot, because there's so much change happening. And if you're trying to keep up with it, all is going to give you a struggle. Very disharmonious. But the moment you step back and allow life, really existence, and life to happen with all its surprises, with all its endings or beginnings or big changes happening, the more you really step back, and it's like you end up like making love in the midst of anything disturbing you might experience. You know, this intimacy, it's coming from intimacy has a function within it, and the function of intimacy, you could also see it as this making love with. You know, you're very close to something or someone or life or experience. So it's like being so open, so accepting of it all, that it's like you're making love with life. And making love with life is the greatest relationship you can ever cultivate for yourself. Here is where you start directly experiencing that you are choosing a higher harmony. Here we're speaking of choosing harmony. So you see, there is always this very refined, very subtle choice. You either choose to judge your life experience. The moment you judge it, you give it a name, you put it in a box, and then you fight it or deny it or try to run away from it, and you can't, because you created yourself that definition of your life experience in the now. And then you spend maybe weeks or months or even years trying to run away from what you have created. And that is very disharmonious to yourself, very disharmonious. While the other new way, maybe you could see it as a new way of choosing. Why not choose to simply be more truthful by neither using these functions of our mind and by not giving it any name? Not giving any of your life experience any names. Allowing it to be undefined. Allowing it to be as it is. Because whatever happens to you in your life, it's no mistake. And I'm sure you know this. It's no mistake. It's no mistake because the way life functions, it functions from a higher place. It functions in a divine, perfected way. Because in life, true life, what is troubling is this consciousness, awareness, which is the highest intelligence, the highest truth beyond this universe. So how can we truly be ignorant of that. You know, if we know that life, all of it, whether close to you or whether globally, you know, it depends what's touching you right now. I'm sure there are some parts that touch you, feel a little bit uncomfortable, maybe a little bit of resistance. But that is life, filled with consciousness, awareness. It's alive and it knows exactly the process, the intelligence, how it functions. No mind can understand. And that's the problem. Because the mind tries to figure it out, tries to fight, becomes ignorant, creates disharmonious actions. While if you could, like the way I see life right now, I see it as this one huge experiment. It's an experiment, and it all depends how you are responding or functioning through this life experience. It becomes a whole experiment of seeing it all unfold. That means you are before, or you are closer, you are before that life experience, because you're seeing it all happen, and you have the power to choose this experiment how you want it to teach you what you need to learn, what you need to understand, but not through the mind, understand through this embodiment, through this aliveness, through this experience. And seeing life as this one whole big experiment, it gives this like so many opportunities, so many possibilities to what you are choosing. Choosing meaning even what you're thinking about something, or feeling about that something, or sensing or acting, like everything, all of it. And the way I see this, the more we become intimate with the fullness of life, even if it's uncomfortable, even if you feel there is a very deep scrubbing, a very deep process happening, you're still fully open, fully intimate with that life experiencing happening. And I have found that this brings the most sense of liberation. Yeah, it's very big. It's very big to allow life happening in any way it wants to come through, and allowing it to move right through you and out. And yes, polishing and whatever, healing, whatever it is, but allowing it fully, oh, that is true liberation. Because the allowance fully, this deeper, deep intimacy with life, with experience, means you are the one seeing it all happening and unfolding. And although you choose, you always grow, you always evolve, you always have opportunity to choose your highest instead of choosing what causes you more suffering. And choosing the highest is choosing harmony over anything else. Choosing harmony over anything else. Oh, this has really blown my mind, so to speak, in this expression of seeing it happen in real life, real-time experience. You could also see it as a surrender, but this surrender is more of this great openness. That gives the true liberation. Because living on this planet, especially during these times, this lifetime, let's say this lifetime, it's not just this year, 2020, it's this lifetime. It's so many new ways are opening for us to find and relearn ways to find new ways to relate with yourself, with life, with others. And as you already know, the old ways are not working, so we have to find new ways. We have to relearn, a higher way, how to become more open to the happenings of life. So this lifetime is very abundant in experience. It's very abundant in experience. Everywhere you look, outside, globally, inside, it's enriched. Cannot say it's boring at all, because it's so abundant in experience. And this experience will always be here, will always change and change. It will continue changing. Every moment is changing. So, become okay with that. Become familiar with that. Become intimate with this change, constant change. Because if you become aware, you as this awareness supports all of your life experiences. This loving awareness that is your core essence. If you allow that, if you give power to that seeing, to that loving It is loving because it is unconditional seeing. It's unconditional seeing. You as awareness doesn't judge anything. It doesn't say this is right or that is wrong. It doesn't give any label to anything. Only the mind gives labels to this and that. So I call it loving awareness because you as awareness is unconditionally loving everything. Everything as it comes. Whether your mind likes it or not, doesn't matter for you, for your essence, it doesn't matter. And then you as your essence supports even your biggest challenges. And this, as a result, it gives could call it very abundant. It enriches all of it. It gives you this, it's not even a sense, it is liberation. That is liberation. Liberation comes real when whatever is happening or passing through you, it's allowed to be. It's allowed to happen. In any way, life molds itself to you. Result of that too is harmony, because then you take that, you start creating, you won't be subject to what life is happening to you. Life continues to happen. Thankfully it helps you to evolve. It helps you to transcend higher and higher over these limitations. And then this non-dual intimacy starts to become more and more familiar. And there's an instant fruits that come out of it, which is choosing harmony. It happens. So watch in with yourself when you're struggling, when you're resisting something. Just to check in. that can lead you to what you're trying to hold or what is fixed in your head or maybe in your core beliefs. And life brings you exactly that, to break free from it. So a higher harmony is the way. Through higher harmony, like you can really allow it all to happen when you choose harmony. Then even if a wave of deep sadness, for example, passes through you, it passes through you because you're choosing harmony. You're not holding or resisting because you're choosing harmony. So any challenging energies passes through you and not gets blocked or stuck because you're not fighting anything. So I hope that today's exploration makes some sense to you. Trying to put it in real life experience, because everyone has life experience.